Here we are back, episode 41 on the police special. We're going to pull the front wheel off today. So this is going to be a part one. We're going to pull the front wheel off, and then we'll install the fender, and then we'll put the wheel back on. So I've got it on the center stand, got it in the air because I've got a wheel chock here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take one side caliper off. I like to take off the right side because the left side's got the ABS sensor. So I take the left side off, or the right side off, and I'll hang it over top of my crash bar. Then I'll loosen the pinch bolts, and then at the end I will loosen the axle shock, and then I'll get the tire out of there. And then we'll mount the fairing, or the fender. So I got the fender in place here. It's right here. So I'll get the camera set up and then I'll start getting at it there. Thanks. So here we are. We're going to start by taking these two bolts off for this caliper. Then we're going to swing the caliper over top of the crash bar. These wires here are my radio wires. Like I say, I'm still mocking up the fairing. Well, I guess I got the fairing actually in place. I just got to take it back off and then send it out for paint, but haven't done that yet. So not too worried about getting it out right away. Get a few other things done. So I'm just going to come in, crack these loose. These are a 12 point. These are Brembo calipers. Like I said, I got the bike on the hoist, but got the center stand all the way up right now. I'm not too worried about anything else, just removing the wheel. Like I say, part one, just removing the wheel. Reason why we got to take oh, look at that, I'll be replacing these pads as well. They're pretty low, so we'll do a video on that when the time comes. You see, I bought the bike in October. I rode it back, and that's the most I've done with it. So we got the caliper off. The reason we got to get the caliper off is because it'll hit the inside of the lip of the tire when we go to pull it off. And yeah, that's the main reason. Just going to reevaluate the camera here. Like I say, it's tough when you don't have someone to hold it, and I don't rely on anyone to hold it, but it does come in handy. So now we're just going to loosen the pinch bolts that are on the bottom here. We want to loosen them, and now loosen our cap off. We don't have to take it right off. And our axle will obviously pull out this way. Now I'll move the camera to the other side. Still a pretty full shot because the weather, but hopefully it will be getting a little warmer in the near future here. So now we're going to take this nut off here for the axle. You can see, because I loosened the cap off on the other side, I can actually spin it all. So when you take a front wheel off, you'll have wheel spacers. So this side has ABS sensor. This side has a wheel spacer. Some will have an ABS, some will have a speedo drive. Some will have spacers and a speedo drive. So you just gotta take that into consideration. So I'm gonna drop it down here. So there goes the spacer from this side. And there goes my ABS. Here's my ABS sensor right here. Now I roll the wheel forward, and I can do so because I removed one caliper. So now the wheel is out. I'm going to pull the camera. I'm not sure where it's viewing, so I'm just going to pull it over here. So here's the wheel. So now I can put that up for sale. It's got a brand new tire on it from last year. So we'll sell it with the rotors and everything. So you'll notice here, this wheel bearing cover is black. The wheel bearing cover on this side is kind of a light brown, bronzish color. That's where our ABS sensor goes. So you gotta keep that in mind and know that, and because if you don't, when you put your tire on for the directional, you'll have it on wrong or backwards. So I'll just show you the parts here. So here's the axle. The axle's got some anti-seize on it. That's fine. It's all over my gloves. Anti-seize is a good product, but it will get everywhere and you won't be able to get it off. So you want to just be careful with that. I'm actually going to get a rag here to set this on. My lift's a little dirty at the moment, so I don't want a bunch of stuff sticking to it. Here's the wheel spacer. This wheel spacer was on this side. And then obviously our ABS sensor is right there. So I might just clean up the ABS sensor a little bit with some emery cloth. And then obviously my new wheel, I put on the wheel bearing on the right side. So my ABS is on the left. And so I'm going to leave that like that. So this is part one, removing the front wheel. And we're going to install the fender now. So bear with me on that. Thanks for tuning in.